Hi guys, how are you guys doing tonight? I am switching around a little bit so I can try to see you. So I'm assuming you guys can see me. There we go. Oh my goodness. I see a lot of comments already in the chat. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to pull that up in front of me so I can try to read it off while I'm looking at the screen. Oh my goodness. So we have Kim in Alaska saying hello to everybody. Maureen saying hi to me and Monica. Hello, Miss Janine. Miss Gloria, Miss Daisy, and saying enjoyable music because I kind of cranked it up a little bit. Oh, and it looks like Janine is making dinner. It's your hubby's birthday too. Oh my goodness, tell him happy birthday for all of us. We've got Miss Gloria and TR. Hello, Miss TR. Pam, going to be working on some cards, so mostly listening. Okay. We've got Crystal. And let's see if I missed anything on here yet. Susie Fick, hello from Illinois. Maureen making sure that I know that she can see and hear me. Awesomeness. And Pam, Pam's saying no sound here. Okay, so Pam couldn't hear me because she didn't have it turned on. Okay, now I got that all straight. Awesome. Let me get my screens where I need them again so that I can try to see everything that's going on. So, as you guys already know, today is Elizabeth's birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Elizabeth. I didn't see her in the chat yet, but she'll be here shortly, I'm sure. She just got finished doing a live stream, so if you didn't check that one out, you have to go back and watch the replay. And she's got another one coming on later on tonight. And I'm just checking on the chat just to see who else has popped in. So we have Sherry D is in the house now. Awesomeness. Daisy is cooking a pup food batch. She'll be listening. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Miss TR. Yeah, I finally got sick of my hair after the trip, so I decided to trim my bangs a little bit. So now I've got a little bit of softness around my head instead of my hair pulled out in a ponytail. Anyhow, thank you so much. I am going to try to do more face forward videos because, I mean, you guys want to know who you're talking to, right? So I'm going to try to do that more, and I'm trying another setup as always on my screen, so you guys are going to see some new overlays. Hopefully everything will work right. I think it is. I've been working on this all day, and if you didn't already know, I think I mentioned this to a couple of people last week, but I think I only mentioned that in the class we did on Saturday. My hubby upgraded my computer. So last week while I was in, I think it was last week, week before, when I was in Austin, my mother-in-law bought me a new laptop, so that was an upgrade. And then Daisy says I'm glowing. No, the reason I'm glowing is I'm using my camera, my phone as a camera, and I've got the light shining on me. You know, that flashlight thing on your phone? I've got that shining in my face. So it does look like I'm a little brighter than normal, which is a good thing. Except now I can't see. I got those spots in my eyes. Anyway, my husband did go ahead and upgrade my upgrade my PC. So it is now faster than my laptop. And from what he said, because he checked all the specs, it should be 12 times as fast as my old PC. That was giving me all the trouble. So hopefully you guys won't have any issues. So if you do have any issues, please, please, please let me know, because I want to see if I can get them fixed. I've been setting up a couple of other things and will not be doing computer stuff for at least a couple of days because I got too many projects that I'm behind on too. So what we're going to do tonight though, I'm going to start recording this also because I'm going to try to do an edited replay, but we'll see. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So anyway, welcome to Debbie J's Crafting Corner. We are doing a live stream tonight with Monica Taylor from Taylor Made Cards for You. Monica is awesome. I've been working with her digital kits for 2 years now on her design team, and she's coming on tonight to teach us a little bit about multimedia with your Christmas cards. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, if you don't know me, first off, if you're new here, go ahead and put new in the chat or in the comments. I would love to meet you. And since if you're new, you don't know me, I'm Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and I like to create and inspire and teach so that I can show you that if I can make it, you can too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Monica and let her show you what we're going to be doing today. So let me go ahead and get over to her. Hello, Miss Monica.
Hey there. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am. You are full screen.
Oh, there it is. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm technically challenged, as Debbie knows. So thanks for having me on again, Debbie. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. So I have to laugh at you, Debbie. You called it multimedia, but really it's like mixed media.
Mixed media. Oh, my goodness. I am thinking too much tech. What's worse is I named it wrong in the thumbnail.
I saw that. And it's the same thing.
I will fix it.
Essentially, it's just using all different types of mediums. So if you want to call it multi means a lot, right? Several. So that'll work. But I had to laugh at you. So mixed media, guys. That's what we're going to be doing tonight is mixed media. So if I could, Debbie, I'm going to just talk a little bit about how I got started.
Perfect.
So as Debbie indicated, I do have a shop. It's called Taylor Made Cards for You. But I didn't start out as a shop owner. I started out as a creator. And I am what you call a vintage inspired creator, which means I like to bring the past into my card making. So that's kind of how I got into digital images. I'm a huge, big Tim Holtz fan, and I use a lot of his product in my designs. But one thing I found is, especially with the pieces of ephemera, once you use it, it's gone. So I started creating my own digital images from authentic vintage ephemera, so that way I can print it and use it over and over again. So you'll find that a lot of my digital images work really well with Tim Holtz products. And that's for selfishness reasons. I did it for me. But there's a lot of people out there that enjoy that. So that's kind of how my shop got started. So I'm in the process of rebranding. Like Debbie said, she was on my design team for 2 years. And I just opened up a subscription over on my website, which I'm calling Backstage Pass, which essentially, if you sign up for my subscription, you'll have access to all of my digital images. And then what I plan on doing is next year is I'm going to be doing classes and courses and showing everybody how to work with digital images to take it up to the next level, not just print them out and using them, but also creating with them. So that's the plan for 2022. So I'm excited to be here. I'm getting back into my roots. When Debbie invited me, she asked me if I wanted to use one of my digital kits. And I thought, well, I probably should, right? I mean, I should promote my kits. But I really wanted to do mixed media. So I was able to find a kit that I think will go well with what we're doing tonight. So Debbie, I'm going to turn my camera down so we can go ahead and kind of get started.
Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and chat with them a little bit while I cut this stuff out.
Okay,
So
great.
what we're starting off with is her digital kit that is paper dolls. This one, I forgot what it's called, but Monica will tell me in a minute. But this is one of her new kits that has these cute little images that are perfect for Christmas. And you can see that they're all very, very vintage. These are, to me, they look like they're probably from like the 40s or 50s. And I just think that they're adorable. So I've printed them out on my Canon inkjet printer. And where I'm going to go ahead and be cutting those out. I believe she has probably already gotten hers cut out before I even got started. So we're going to go with that. And I'm just going to let her lead me through the process of what she does all the time. Okay, Monica, you're back up on the screen too, and looks like I need a little bit more light, so I'm going to adjust that real quick while you chat a little more too.
All right, yeah, and the set is called Christmas Dolls. So,
I knew it was something simple.
Yeah, and they're from authentic paper dolls. I think I found the paper dolls at a estate sale. So I live in Prescott, Arizona, which is a really old cowboy town. So I am lucky enough to be able to go to a lot of estate sales here. So I found the actual paper doll set in a estate sale, and I was able to scan down the images and clean them up and do that kind of a thing. So yeah, they're from authentic. They probably are the 40s, I think. I mean, that Santa is so cute, isn't he? I love
Absolutely.
it.
Well, I did just notice one of the questions. There's a bunch of stuff in there. I'm going to go back through the chat in a bit. But one person was asking, where was it? I want to bring up her question real quick.
Now, you know what? I'm upside down. I'm going to try to switch it.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. That's...
Okay, where did that question go? Someone was asking if they're already colored, and I lost the question. Okay, I just had it, and now I lost it again. Okay, Susie Fix says, are they already colored? And yes, ma'am, they are. I printed these out on my color printer, so they're already ready to go. You don't have to color these up, and no, I don't think I can color as good as these are colored. And now I'm thinking I have too much light because it doesn't look quite right. Oh my goodness, I am never going to get this stuff straight, am I?
Yeah,
there's got to always be something, right?
One of the things, I don't know, if you guys follow me, you know that I love Tim Holtz's paper dolls. So, and I readjusted that camera. Hopefully it looks all right. But let me show you. I have a problem with paper dolls, you guys. And this is the problem.
I think she has a hoarding issue, guys.
Yeah. So I buy paper dolls. I love the paper dolls. I think they are so fun to work with. And even when I have enough, if they're on sale, I buy them because I think they're adorable to work with. So I have a problem with it. I admit it. But you know what? It's better than gambling, right? It's a lot
Absolutely.
So I do collect paper dolls. I love working with them. But you're right. I think it was Susie that said not everybody is a great colorist, right? So my paper dolls, my little dolls, come already colored. And that was one of the things that kind of led me to the paper dolls, or the vintage paper dolls, is these images didn't come all dressed up. If you remember the paper dolls from
Oh
when we
yeah,
were little, they had the little tabs that you would, flip over and you can dress all your paper dolls with different outfits.
I
Well,
remember.
as a digital creator, I can pre-dress the dolls, if you will, and create different types of costumes for our characters. So you
That
don't have to,
explains why Santa's face that I'm looking at right now looks so young compared
yeah,
to his beard.
yeah. So the original paper doll had the child, and then it had the suit. And but as a digital creator, I can go ahead and overlay it and crop it down and do it all for you. And this little girl wasn't wearing this little snowsuit. She was wearing like a dress or something, but I went ahead and I overlaid it, sized it down. So I'm doing all the work for you guys, and you guys are getting all the benefit of the cute little paper dolls. So that's kind of how
Fantastic.
this came to fruition. So
I
let's
just
get
think
in.
they're adorable.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they're really fun to work with. I really like it. And you know what, Debbie? I look at what I'm making now. Little furniture.
Oh my goodness.
I
Perfect size for these little guys. Oh
um
my goodness.
I know. Look at, and so Tim Holtz's little characters sit right on them.
Oh,
So
that is perfect.
so
Okay, I
I
just had someone. I noticed that they were saying that they were having a little bit of trouble hearing you. That your mic, I think, is probably a little lower than mine. So I tried adjusting the StreamYard, which means I'm probably too loud. But if you're able to turn yours up a little bit, that might help. I also turned off the music for once,
okay. If I lose
so they
you,
could
it's
hear
because
better that way too.
if I lose you, it's because I pushed the wrong button. Let's see.
That's usually my fault.
All right. I don't know if I'm increasing the volume or not. I can't really tell.
Okay, well they will definitely let us know.
Okay.
Okay, I do want to say hello to Miss Cordelia who just popped in. Hi, honey, how are you doing tonight? Okay, and then back to Miss Monica. I know that Cordelia will answer in a bit. I'm sure she's doing fine because I think she was in one of the previous lives too. In case you didn't already know, Miss Monica, today is Elizabeth Costa Rogers' birthday, and she is doing multiple live streams to give stuff away.
Yeah, I saw her when I went onto YouTube to see what was going on, and I saw she was live, and it was her birthday. Happy
Absolutely, yeah.
birthday, Elizabeth!
We should sing to her.
Well, you can do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to give myself some props here, Debbie. So
Okay.
Part of mixed media is not only creating fun backgrounds, but it's altering items also. So I made this card, my naughty and nice card, with one of the Tim Holtz dies. It's called Voltage.
Yeah,
And
I've
Tim
seen that.
Holtz commented on my Instagram saying, very creative. So,
Oh, awesome.
so I was like, and my husband's like, you know what? Cool your jets. Don't text him back. Don't do anything like that. So I just
No, you should text him back and say
No.
thank you. I mean,
I put a
come
little
on.
heart. I put a little heart.
That works.
So yeah.
See,
so,
you have now arrived.
Yes. Yeah. But you know what? I've been creating with his stuff for a long time, and I've actually met him a few times here in Prescott. So my husband jokes with me. He's like, "Does he know who you are?" And I said, "Well, we've met a few times. I think he might. I don't know. That doesn't matter." All right. So when I work with mixed media, I like to work with heavy cardstock. So this is just watercolor cardstock. And the reason I like to work with heavier cardstock is because you're layering. So we probably will have some noise with our dryer because you typically have to dry between layers when you're doing mixed media. Otherwise, you end up with mud.
That is true.
Yep. So that's what we're going to be doing. So when I am playing with mixed media, it's a little bit messy. So typically what I'll do is I'll create several backgrounds before I actually put cards together. So hopefully we'll be able to put at least a card together, but we're going to do a lot of playing tonight.
Okay, well, I am going to go grab my watercolor cardstock because guess what? I wanted to cut out these little paper dolls, so I didn't do it yet.
Uh-oh.
So I will be right back, but I've already got you up center stage so they can see you.
Okay, great. And I made this one last night. I just kind of got out some of my product getting ready for the live, and I created this last night. And as you can see, it has acrylic paint in the background. It has a stamp, and then it has distressed colors around it. But there's a lot of things that you can do or use when you're working with mixed media. So the first thing, of course, are your paints. And you can use distress paints, you can use acrylic paints. There's a lot of things that you can do. I also have gesso that I like to use, and gesso mutes out your color. So if you don't want a really bold color, or even if you want to be able to give your paper a coating so that way your layers stick, gesso is very, very good for that. All right, the other thing I have on my desk is I have a sprayer because I like to saturate. I have this distressor, which is one of my favorite tools. And then this is really old uh, tissue tape. I know everybody calls it washi tape, but Tim Holtz came out with tissue tape several years ago. And this is really great with mixed media as well, because you can layer it on your cardstock and then you can layer over it as well. So I have this here. When I was digging through my paints, I found this metallic acrylic paint that I had to have and I never used. So we're going to be playing with this tonight. And then for backgrounds, so that's usually your first layer are your paints. And then for backgrounds, I have some oversized stamps that I thought would be fun. So these are great. And the stamps that I use for my mixed media are the stamps that I can hold in my hand, because what I do, and we'll show you what we're doing here, but I like to hold it in my hand. I don't use it on a stamp platform. I don't use it on an acrylic block. I use it in my hand so that way I can kind of control where I'm putting my background. So I brought out this background stamp. I'm already getting messy with my ink.
All inky.
Yes.
You are all inky.
And then I have these background stamps as well. So that's what I did, is I just pulled out some background stamps. Go ahead, Debbie.
I was just going to tell the guys that my husband just came home and said, because he saw that I was over cutting paper. He says, I thought today was the live stream day.
Yes.
So he is back from his bike ride, his insane bike ride again, as usual. He goes on a bike ride pretty much every night, and he comes home usually in the middle of the live. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so I am still cutting. Well, I am now again cutting my little paper dolls. So what should I be working on instead? Since I do have 2 of them cut out, and now I have my watercolor paper.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and create some backgrounds. So
okay.
if you don't have all of these, fancy things, stencils is another thing that I like to use. But if you don't have a lot of fancy stuff, the first thing we're going to play with is just stuff you might have in your house. So this is bubble wrap, and this creates great texture. I've used it before. I have some saran wrap here, and then cover your ears. I have tin foil, and we're just going to crinkle this up because it creates great backgrounds.
And here I thought that my most recent package was going to have bubble wrap. Instead, it's got these. That will not work.
Anything that's going to give you some texture, Debbie, will work. You can use paper towels. You can use old rags.
Actually, I do have paper towels.
Yeah.
That's something I always keep over here because I'm always making a mess.
Yes, ma'am. Me too. I got my big roll right here. And then I have just a rag that I keep on my desk, because as you're creating mixed media and you want to clean up your layers, you're going to want to, clean it up as you go along. All right. Okay. So let's get going here. So I don't have any rhyme or reason for this, Debbie. I just kind of play when I'm doing mixed media. I said, mixed media is just using different mediums. That's really what it is. But the first thing I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and put a layer of gesso onto my cardstock. And that's going to create a nice surface, so that way your mediums will stick. So that way they'll hold on.
Okay, so I am getting into my cabinet to grab some of that. That does not get enough love. So I've got this big old humongous thing from Artist Loft that has been in my cabinet for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, gesso is underrated. I love it. You can use it to mute your backgrounds if it's too bright. You can use it to create like your white flurries. Mm-hmm. It's a real great medium.
Okay, so I'm going to just, while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and look in the chat and say hello to a couple more folks. I do see, Cordelia was saying that I could deflate those plastic pillows, wad it up and use it that way. So she found a way that I could still use that even though it's not regular bubble wrap. And then we've got Biddy Penny is in the house. And I think I saw that, I think Debbie Smith is in because I saw that somebody says hi to make it. So I'm thinking that Debbie Smith is in the house too. Melissa Crawford is in. Vay is in. Welcome, ladies. If I have missed you, give me a big shout out and maybe do it all in caps so I know that you just popped in.
You're crackling, Debbie.
I was hearing it too. I wasn't sure if it was on my end or if it was on your end.
It's happening when you're talking, so I'm thinking it might be your end.
Okay. Of course, I've got to have a tech issue. So I'm going to mute my mic and then I'm going to try turning it back on. So that's the only thing I can think of because this is coming through StreamYard.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and last night when I was playing, I was working with these paints here. But I'm going to try to work with these metallic paints. So, and it could be a great success or it could be a disaster. That's the thing about mixed media is you never know what you're gonna get. All right, and then I'm going to, I think I'm going to start with
Okay, so I was still hearing it a bit when you were talking too, but it's not as much. So I think it's something StreamYard. I don't know why. So, and Elizabeth, yes, we can hear it. And happy birthday, Elizabeth. I see that you're here. So I am going to see if I can do something with my mic. I'm going to just turn it off completely and switch devices. Maybe that'll help.
no, that stopped.
Okay, can you hear me? It's back. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I just turned off the echo cancellation and it's still there.
Now I'm popping. Well, I'm talking now, but I don't hear it.
Okay, because I was hearing it still a little bit. I'm going to also turn it off on my OBS, turn it off altogether over there. So you guys out in the chat, you were not here as talk for a minute while I see if we can work this out. If you still hear the popping, I have no idea what to tell you. I don't like it doing this. So give me just a sec. Okay, guys, looks like it is a StreamYard thing. Don't know why, but doesn't look like we can get rid of the popping. So that really, really, really sucks. I did have a thought, though. Maybe if I get out of the stream and then come back in, and then you can do the same thing. I don't want us both out at the same time as Monica, because if we do that, we'll probably lose the stream altogether. So okay. I'm going to leave the studio for a minute and I'm going to come back in, okay?
Okay. Susie, you're asking me what file am I using? What do you mean what file? So I'm using watercolor paper. And then for my background, I used tin foil to just create my background here. Not really using a file yet. The paint I'm using is some metallic acrylic paint.
I'm just saw Kim's comment. She says just add texture to your voices. I don't know if the popping left while I was gone or not, but it's still there now.
Cindy's saying just leave it. It's not bad.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Cindy. Appreciate all of that. And hello, Miss Lisa.
All right. So do you have your tinfoil out, Debbie?
Of course not.
Let's get going, girl.
Okay, right now I am just drying the gesso.
All right. Yep. You got to dry your gesso first. That's your first layer. And you know, you don't have to use gesso, but I like to use it because when I'm using several layers, I just think that it holds better. If you don't have your gesso, then all the layers are going to, you know, saturate into your cardstock, especially if you're using watercolor paper, it's going to saturate.
Okay, so I want to know from you guys if you're still hearing the popping from me, because I just hear it now. I'm trying to adjust the volume in StreamYard to maybe get rid of it, and it's not doing it. It's not fixing it. Okay. This would fix it.
Uh-oh. I'm moving here. I turned on my light. Hopefully I don't have a glare.
Yeah, this is neat. It's a little bit more dry, but while it's doing it, I can go run get some tinfoil.
If that glare's too bad, you guys let me know. I just turned on my light because it seemed like I was dark, but I can turn off that light if it's too glary. All right, so I have a couple layers. Ooh, I really like that metallic. I think that looks awesome, and it's got a really cool shine to it. And I'm gonna just set this aside here to dry. We're gonna do the natural dry because I know that my dryer is annoying. So that was acrylic paint. The next thing I'm gonna do is I want to work with my distress inks. Now, I love working with the oxides. I think the oxides are great for layering. And I think I have a couple of palettes here. So I have some blue palettes here that probably will be great for a winter scene. But then I also have some vintage palettes. So these are the colors that I used. I don't have them all labeled. These are the colors I used to create my rust. There we go. So with rust, you know, you have your browns, you have your yellows, and you have your reds for your rust. So these are what I used to create my rust. But I think I'm going to go ahead and create a blue background to try to stick with the wintry scene. So let's go ahead and see what we can come up with. All right.
And if you guys heard something weird, sorry, that was my computer.
I heard it. It was talking to you.
That bling, yeah, it was an alarm. All it was doing was telling me that tomorrow is trash day.
Ah.
Because that's important.
Yes.
Yeah, it's yard trash day.
Ah.
Which is important as much stuff as my husband does out in the yard.
Sure.
So I decided to use lunar paste instead of paint, and I'm basically just, I don't know if I'm doing this right or not because I missed most of what you were doing, but I'm going basically blotting over the entire panel, and it's just giving up. It's going to be mostly blue shimmery, but it does have a little bit of the white still showing through.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong in mixed media. It's just play.
And this panel doesn't have any gesso on it, but I'm still going to put some of that blue all over it too. Kind of use up some of that waste that's on the ground or on the desktop. Okay. And this stuff doesn't take long to dry, which is nice.
Yeah. This is kind of why I got into vintage, because it could be messy or grungy, and even if you make a mistake, you can hide it.
Okay, what was I supposed to do with the tin foil now that I did the paper towel one?
Crunch it up and just use it. Make sure you got some nice texture, and then just dab it into your acrylic paint. I find paint works best for this because if you use it too watered down, it won't capture. And then just crunch it onto your background to create randomness.
I think these guys can recognize that I'm also using the lunar paste from Simon Hurley. So on top of the blue, I got to put the blue, which is, what color is that? Clear skies. I got to use the slippery when wet because that is my favorite. It's just gorgeous. Oh, and you can probably see the shimmer of all that blue on there. And I know it would look different if it wasn't so shimmery.
So Vay says that you haven't done much mixed media, but you like seeing others do it. Mixed media is just different mediums, Vay. And you can't do anything wrong. What I would recommend if you've never done mixed media is just create backgrounds. That's how I started. And then I started creating and on my YouTube channel a couple years ago, I did a monthly journal page where I did mixed media primarily. And that's how I got pretty good at it. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I think I have a confidence level now that I'm okay with it not being perfect. And I think that's what people need to get over is, this is, at the end of the day, this is arts and crafts. I don't care what you want to say. We can call us artists. We can call us crafters. It's arts and crafts. That's all it is. And, we didn't seem to be so uptight or so nervous about what our stuff looked like when we were 5. So why should we worry about it when we're 55?
That is very true.
It's just playtime. So I've got, through the years, I've just built up a confidence. I don't know if it's a confidence level or I don't give an S level. But I play for me. This is my outlet. Debbie, you and I chatted a little bit today, and my job was pinging me, so I'm like, I gotta go. I'm working. So this is my outlet. This is what I do after work, and I enjoy it. I don't want to be stressed about it. I don't want to have to worry about, is it perfect? Is it good enough? That's just nonsense. It's just all in fun. All right.
This actually reminds me of like a kind of wallpaper-ish. I don't know if you guys can see the texture or not. Trying to make it. And then I use the extra for this other little background that really has no character to it, but that doesn't mean I can't use it behind something else.
I like the shimmer. That looks great. All right, so here's my 2 backgrounds, Debbie. I'm going to go ahead and go on to my next level.
Okay. So I do want to say hello to some more folks. Kim in Alaska asked, does gesso allow you to use more water on your paper without pilling it?
Does gesso, is that the question?
Yes.
No, gesso is like a layer. It's not necessarily, I mean, what's going to allow you to create more layers without it falling apart is the thickness of your paper. That's what it is. So with mixed media, you want a thicker paper because you're going to be doing several layers and you don't want it to disintegrate on you. But what the gesso does is it kind of gives it a coating. When you're painting your wall and you have to use primer, that's what gesso is. It's primer.
It kind of gives it a little bit of tooth, something to hang on to, right?
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. And not only that, but it's a great item to mute things down as well. So if you put down a color, and I'll show you with one of these here. If you put down a color and it's too bright, well, let's do it right now. So this is my tape. And this tape is great because it's very thin. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. You might be able to get it on Amazon. And I'm going to do it with, I guess I'll do it with this one. But it creates interest. So when you're doing mixed media, that's really what you're doing is you're creating interest. You're creating different layers to attract, attract your eye to different objects. But maybe you don't want it to look like a tape, right? Maybe you just want it to add to the background.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something you can use. And then you could put a real soft coat of gesso over it to make it look like it's supposed to be there, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you're adding the tape on top of your card.
I am. Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come in real lightly with my gesso. Now this gesso is clear gesso. I don't have the white gesso, but I prefer the white gesso, but this one works too. And this is just going to be oh so lightly. I just want to make it look like it's part of the background. Now with the white gesso, you're going to get a little bit more of a mutation, or I should say, not mutation. It's not going to transform. It's going to grow an arm, Debbie. It's going to mutate on it.
It's going to mutate. Oh my goodness. You are too funny.
But it's going to mute it down a little bit. So that will hold it. Another thing you can use if you don't have gesso is, let's see if I have it here. I have some chalk tape that I love. I don't know where I got it, but this is great as well. And like I said, it's mixed media. We're using several mediums.
And I think I've got some thin washi tape around here somewhere. It's going to take me a minute to find it, though. So give me just a sec. I know, I keep leaving you. I am so sorry.
All right, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. You see how that white chalk just really faded it? And you can see it, still see it in the background, but it doesn't stand out. So that's what I was going with. It mutes the background. And one thing I would recommend, which I didn't do, is you probably want to have like a cup of water so you can put your paintbrushes in, or if you're using texture paste. And I didn't do that, so I might have to stick it in my soda.
So when I said I have washi tape around here somewhere, yeah. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, yeah.
I have to figure out what to use. I think this one's a Tim Holtz. It's got poison. That's a Halloween one. I can't use a Halloween one. And I haven't bought any washi tape, I think, in like 2 years, but I bought a lot of it when I did.
Yeah, me too.
What's this one? Oh, this one's the film. It's not really tape, but it looks like camera film. I think it's a Tim Holtz thing. Film strip. Yeah. So what do I have that's going to match the blue and green, or blue and gold, and still be Christmassy-ish?
Okay,
and this really doesn't.
I'm going on.
You are beating me again.
All right, well, let me do something with this one before I go on to my next layer. Go ahead. I'll let you catch up.
Yeah, no worries, Ed.
Okay.
I told you you're teaching me, because this is something I really don't do much. So that's blue.
So another thing I use if you guys don't have washi tape is, you guys might be familiar with this. This is the collage paper by Tim Holtz, and this is very thin tissue paper, and this is great for mixed media as well. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll use some of this while Debbie catches up.
That color might work.
This tissue tape is great because it comes in several designs. You can get it in maps. You can get it in florals. I think there was a poison one I got for Halloween. And then this one is a little bit less tissuey, but it's still pretty translucent.
Sherry Tyson is asking. She says, I wonder if that is a closed captioning sound going on. No, it's not supposed to be here, hun. Sorry. Was unintentional. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't want to cover up the gold. The gold is pretty. See, this is part of my problem.
That's rule number 1 with mixed media.
It's okay to cover stuff.
Yes. And I know you have a problem with that, Debbie. That's why we're doing this today.
I know.
Don't think about where you're at. Think about where you're going.
That's the thing. I don't know where I'm going until I get there.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm just going to do it. And no, I have to put it in a straight line. I can't have it on there crooked.
It can be crooked. It doesn't have to be perfect.
And there's enough glue that I can't really see. Go ahead.
Tell Debbie it's okay not to be perfect, everybody. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay, Elizabeth is mentioning that the light is washing out your project, so we can't see it. So it looks like the exposure is a little high.
All right, I just turned off my overhead lights, so hopefully that's better.
Yeah, I think it might be a camera setting. But I don't know if you can adjust it. Yeah, because it's still overexposed.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to fix that because I'm going to get new equipment for Christmas.
Yeah, Monica is upgrading.
I am. I already have one camera that my husband bought me, and then my son is getting me another one for Christmas. And that's what Debbie's been doing. She's been helping me get set up. Because I'm going to be doing classes, Debbie.
Yeah, I heard. Awesome.
Yeah.
We may have to do 1 or 2 together.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun.
It'll be fun.
So Vay is asking if that paper is kind of like rice paper.
I've never used rice paper, but I think so. It's like on your presents when you have that tissue paper to cover your clothes. It's that texture. All right. Okay, so I'm getting out my collage medium because I need something a little bit more stickier. Paint doesn't necessarily work as an adhesive.
That is true. I think I have some of that stuff around here somewhere. All the things that I never use.
Bring them out.
Okay, that one's texture paste. And this one is crackle paste icicle, which we probably won't use, but we might. And then the pretty glitters that I don't use because I get glitter everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a glitter fan. I think I told you last time.
Grit paste snowfall. Now that one's going to be pretty.
Yeah, I've used that. I've had glitter end up in my nose before, so I'm trying to avoid glitter. Yeah.
That is not good.
No.
Okay, translucent grit paste. I know I've got some texture paste. Some of that. Oh, there
Collage
it is.
medium.
Yeah, I knew I had some collage medium. I've got 2 different ones. I've got the vintage, and I've got the matte, and then I've got the crackle paste.
No, you got it all. I would recommend going with the matte because the vintage is going to change your color tone. The crackle is going to give you too much texture, and the matte's going to be like your adhesive.
Okay, so what are we gluing down now?
I'm gluing down tissue paper. So I don't know if you have any of that.
Not that kind, but I've got regular tissue paper in different colors. So that would work.
If you want to, before you actually lay it down, get some of your stamps and just randomly stamp to create.
That's what I need to do yet.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay.
So that's another trick. If you don't have any of the pre-printed tissue paper, make your own. I'm all about DIY. I love Tim Holtz, but he's rich enough. All right. Use it or lose it. That's right, Elizabeth. I've actually that's a good point because recently I've been going through all of my paints and some of them were dried out. I was so irritated. It's like you spend good money on product and then you don't use it and it dries out. I mean,
Yeah.
this isn't lasting life forever. It will dry out eventually.
I seem to recall Tim Holt saying that recently on a video. Because people were thinking the same thing. And they're thinking, I can't use this stuff up, you know? Well, you bought it to use it, and I'm one of the worst about not using my stuff.
Yeah, I used to be like that, but I'm way past that now. Life's too short.
Okay.
Can't take it with you.
That is very true.
All right. So again, I'm just using this chalky finish acrylic chalk paint to mute down my background. I'm liking this. I think this is looking great. All right. Okay, so I'm going on to my next layer.
You're 2 layers ahead of me.
I know.
That is perfectly fine. I did catch that part where you said that you basically you take the stamp and you use your hand just to put it wherever because it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yep. I just brought my phone closer to my desk, so I'm hoping that might help the glare. We'll
Oh, yes, we can see it better. Awesome.
All right. Okay. So I won't put my face right under there. That would be really scary. That'd be a really close up.
Okay, I don't even know if anybody could see what I just stamped down, but that's okay.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I've got 2 layers. I've got my paint in the background. I've got some sort of, well, 3 layers. I had my gesso first, I had my paint, I had my tissue paper, and now I'm going to do my stamping. So there's a lot of ways you can go with stamping. You can just create designs, which are these here. You can create letters. So this stamp is a take on this tissue paper. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it has all the letters and whatnot. So if you don't have the tissue paper and you have the stamp, you can kind of create the same effect. And then I have some more. These are great. These are really inexpensive. I think they're like 99 cents from Finnabar, and these create great texture as well. So when I started getting into mixed media, like everybody, I watched videos, and I found these stamps, and these are perfect. They're inexpensive. You can get different texture backgrounds. So these are good starters if you don't want to invest in, you know, the more expensive Tim Holtz stamps. All right, so okay, so I'm going to come in with just some black ink here. Now this is where you might get a little inky. So if you want to,
I'm already getting inky.
I know. You want to make sure your words are right side up. All right. And as you go along, like I said, you kind of want to get stamps you can hold, because you're not going to necessarily put the pressure on the whole thing. You're just going to add to it. So you can, you know, as you go along, you can just add more ink and then add to it. And I like these because they're what do you call them? They're flimsy, I guess, so you can get different parts of the stamp.
Okay, all these have got to be washed later. So this is what I've got so far. What do you think, Miss Monica?
Looks good. Trying to see.
I do think I need to zoom it a little bit because I'm having an issue with lighting too.
Yeah, yeah, just bring it up to the camera. I'm just trying to see it. No, that looks good, Debbie. I think that looks really good. Do you have any like white paint or white chalk where you can try to mute those colors a little bit because they're pretty bright?
Um,
If you don't, that's fine.
well, I do have some, I just switched things wrong. I wanted to go this way. There we go. So I do have some white pigment ink, so it wouldn't be too bright white.
Okay.
So that might work. So how much of that do I need to put down?
Not a lot. You're just going to use it as a coating. So what you might want to do is you might want to spread it onto your media mat and spritz it down a bit because you just want a light layer. You just want to put like a foam or a light color over the blue and the gray washi tape, so that way it's a little bit more muted. You want it to look like the background. You don't want it to look like it's layered on top of the background, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. And just put that on with a brush, I guess?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking for a brush that's not a watercolor brush. It shouldn't hurt a watercolor brush, but... Oh, and since everything is water ink, I'm spreading around the colors. It's turning pink over my... over this, because I probably should have dried it first. But that's okay. Yeah. I've got some red on there, and it just kind of brings it together, I guess.
Yeah, that's a little bit too saturated, I think. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea. This is great. This chalky finish chalk acrylic paint, and I don't think it was very expensive because I don't buy expensive stuff. But this has been really great to be able to mute out my backgrounds.
Well, I think part of it is that I did not put any of the collage medium over the tape yet. So the tape is basically, yeah, I can wipe this right straight off of it, and all I wound up doing is just kind of messing up the color a little bit, but that's okay. Sure. You see, I'm trying to use the words "that's okay."
It is okay, absolutely.
Okay, and this collage medium, I don't think is any good anymore. It does feel a little bit sticky, but I'm going to have to put water in it, and hopefully it'll work. It's like clumpy.
Bring it back to life.
I'm going to try. Okay, it's kind of starting to feel a little bit of it's starting to feel like glue. Yeah, this is what Tim said don't do. And this is where I even had it covered with some some press and seal. It still wound up drying out the collage medium.
What? You're going against what Tim Holtz said? How dare you?
Oh, I know.
Goodness. What? I don't know about that. He's omnipotent. He is all-knowing. All right, so we're going to try to turn this into a Christmas card.
I don't think this is salvageable. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I still have got some. I forgot the name of this stuff. Anyway, I've got something else that I'm gonna try.
All right, I'm gonna add some snowflakes to my background. Oh, you know what? We should bring out our stencils. I totally forgot about my stencils. All right.
Yeah, I think I told everybody here that words are hard. So I've got my Mod Podge. Now I have the word.
Debbie, I'm bringing out my stencils.
I brought out a stencil earlier, but then it wasn't time for the stencils. Okay, yeah, this one's going in the trash.
Oh, no. Really? You can't save it?
I can't save it. It's too, I added a lot of water to it and it didn't really do anything. Yeah.
Turned into mud?
No, it's like the paste wouldn't separate out enough to mix with the water, if that makes sense.
Boo. Yeah. All right.
So now I'm gonna put it on with some Mod Podge.
I guess
and that should take care of the texture. Of course it is. Hello, Miss Carmen. I'm trying to catch when I see somebody in the chat, but if I do not say hello to you, honey, I'm also trying to stay focused because Monica is so far ahead of me. I'm going to be rewatching the video primarily just to learn all this stuff. Because that's what happens when you're trying a technique that you're not real familiar with or good at.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have tried a lot of things on my channel this year that I had never tried before. So I think they're used to me not knowing what the heck I'm going to do and flying by the seat of my pants.
Sure. All right. So we're going to add some more texture. I'm going to go with these circles here.
Okay.
Why? I don't know. Because I want to.
Okay. So I'm trying to dry the Mod Podge.
Okay. Yeah, I use Mod Podge, just a good medium.
I probably should have used it under the tape first, but oh well.
All right.
And I guess this was a gloss Mod Podge. Was this a gloss Mod Podge? Yeah, it was. I should have used. I thought I had a matte. It's like I've got a waterproof and I've got a gloss. And gloss. This one was from Dollar Tree. Okay, so I was wondering why it was staying shiny. Okay, so now we're going to stencils. I'm going to skip whatever the next step was. This does have this basically at this point it's got as much texture or more texture than I usually use. So I've got this stencil. I don't know where I got it from, but it's all leaves, and to me they look kind of like poinsettia leaves. So you're just going to be adding something through the stencil.
Yeah. So before you jump in, clear your jets there, Debbie. So before
I'm waiting to see what you're doing.
All right. So before you jump in, you got to think about what you're going to do. If you're going to use like a poinsettia or leaves, then you're going for not just a background, you're going for an image, which is fine. But when I'm creating backgrounds, I typically will work with something that will enhance the background, not necessarily create an image. So just think about what you want to do. If you want to create the image, the poinsettia would be perfect. I have a beautiful poinsettia stencil here, but I don't want to use that because I'm only going to use part of the stencil. It's here somewhere. But I'm only going to use part of the stencil just to create some texture. And I'm using molding paste. Let's see if it's dried out. Oh, it's not. Okay, good. And you should see my desk. It's a mess. I haven't done this in a long time because it is a very messy process.
Well, I've got this basket weave thing. That might work.
Okay, so here's a trick that probably everybody already knows already. So when I am spreading, you can use like old credit cards or old room keys.
Oh yeah, love that.
Work really great. Yeah.
Thank you, Daisy. Daisy was saying that I knocked her slippers off when I did an iron on wood crafting project. Now that crafting project, it was when I was doing some sublimation with artistry. And I decided, I've got some blanks, but I wonder if it would work on wood. So that's what I did. It was like a Dollar Tree. I think it was the first one that I did was just like a Dollar Tree ornament thing that was wood. And I looked up online and someone said, try laminating it. What works best, I think, though, so that you get a good impression and everything on and you can see everything is painting it white or with gesso, then laminating it, and then doing your sublimation over it. So you're going through, you said, with some paste, right?
Yeah, it's molding paste is what I'm using.
I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use Nouveau glitter paste. And there went my phone. Okay, meaning if I go back up on there, I gotta adjust it before I actually go live with it. Okay, I think this one is empty and or dried out. Yep, this one's bad, which is why I bought another one, which has not even been opened yet. And
yeah, I used to be the type of crafter that would buy everything I saw, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then things started going to waste. It started going bad, and so now I'm very particular. I hardly bought anything this season, believe it or not.
I think I've spent more this season than since around Halloweenish than I have in the last 2 years. But that's where I didn't do any kind of shopping at all in 2020. So I haven't done much this year either. Okay, so one thing you guys should not do, by the way, is that when you're opening your glitter paste, don't hit it through don't do like I did, hit it with your knuckle because it sprays everywhere. So now I got glitter all over me.
That's why I don't use glitter.
Well, this is glitter paste though. It's not gonna no, it's where the stuff, because it was liquid, it kind of went everywhere.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little cleanup here while you're catching up.
Okay, and I probably went over more than I needed to, but that still looks kind of cool. And this one is the moonstone. So yeah, I like all the shimmery. I think I'm still sticking with my shimmery thing, you know? And now I need to wash my stencil because I did not bring a tub to clean it. And this stuff dries pretty fast, and it'll ruin your stencil if you don't clean it up fast. So I will be right back.
Yep. So Crystal, you said that found out Amazon, Roku, Streamlabs, and other websites are having issues on the East Coast. Are they having connection issues? I know Debbie's in Florida. I'm in Phoenix. So crafting across states here. Just doing a little cleanup so I don't ruin my stencils. All right.
And since this was brand new glitter paste, it was thin enough that it actually cleaned up pretty fast, which is nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to dry my paste, and then we're going to do one more layer, then we're going to start working on our paper dolls.
One more layer?
Well, I want to introduce all different mediums so people can choose.
Absolutely. Okay, Crystal says, so we just found out that Amazon, Roku, and Streamlabs and other websites on the East Coast are having major issues. So I guess that's saying that that's probably why our audio sucks.
Could be, yeah.
And on the day that I think I fixed pretty much everything.
And my fingers are all dirty. All right.
I am kind of liking this. This is different, but it's interesting. It's like you can see the little trees back there and the snowflakes, but they're not center stage. And then that glitter, which is like iridescent.
Yeah.
The iridescent glitter from the texture paste looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. I enjoy it. All right, so I'm getting out my box of mixed media items here. So let's see. I have sprays. I don't use sprays a lot just because they're
messy.
Flipping mess. Yeah, yeah. But I have used sprays. But what I want to play with are these magicals. That's what I want to play with.
What are those?
Oh, you'll see. They're magical. All right, let's see. Oops, took my card with me.
And Biddy Penny is saying she is loving the cards. Elizabeth loves the stencil that you were using. And Maureen was saying maybe warm water. So I think what she was talking about was me trying to save my paste a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Which means, of course, I'm going to pull it back out of the trash and see if it is salvageable. If I can find the lid.
People have stash of chocolate. I have stashes of craft supplies.
Well, I want a stash of chocolate too.
Oh,
no, stashes of chocolate, that doesn't last around here. Yeah. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find the lid. It's right there. So okay, that was like right. I was still on my table.
So this, let me do it without my cards first. So these are powders, essentially what they are.
Oh, okay. I do not have anything like that.
Yeah, and what you do essentially is, I like to do it after I've ran my stencil through with paste and everything, because then it goes through all the crevices and everything. But I kind of want to show you how it reacts with water. And then you can kind of, drip it down. Creates really cool effects. So it's kind of like a spray, I guess, but you start with powder.
Yeah, I've seen something similar, but I have not invested in any of that yet. And Shay was asking, yes, these are paper dolls. The paper dolls that we're going to be using are from Monica's shop. It's called Christmas Paper Dolls. And let me grab a link while Monica is doing her thing, and I'll put that in the chat for you guys.
Got yellow. Let's see what else I can add. Ooh.
So there's the link to get to Monica's page for these paper dolls. They're called Christmas dolls.
Oh, this is very bold, but I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And what's different with the texture with that is you've got all of those little dots from the powder. Yeah, that's what's different with that kind of media than anything else.
For sure. All right, so now we're going to do it on this. Hopefully we won't ruin them. But we're just going to use a little bit. So what's this? Frozen Jack Frost. So that must be white. You know what? I'm going to test it first before I spray.
And I just noticed that I don't hear the crackly anymore. Do you guys hear the crackling anymore? Oh, it's a little bit there.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad. All right. So this is one of those times where maybe I don't know when to stop. Do I add one more layer? Do I stop?
Oh my goodness.
That's one of those moments. All right. Okay.
I thought it was time for me to stop like 2 layers ago.
And you know what? It might have been, but I just want to introduce, different mediums. What I like about these is you can kind of see where it's going through the stencil. I like how it's kind of like, that pinball that kind of goes through your maze.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the way it looks.
So Elizabeth says, I'd like to invest with some color burst, which is similar, They look like a lot of fun.
Yep, I've seen that. Yep, pretty similar. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I think that came out pretty good. I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, you just kind of added a little bit of color over the top. So you
Yeah.
started off with kind of muted tones and then you added your color afterwards.
Yep. Yep. And then for this one, let's see what color we should use. This is more of a orange yellow. Oh, yeah, yeah. Decisions. Ooh, black. I don't know if I should go black. Might be too dark. All right, let's go with, I don't know. I'm just going to go with green. It's Christmas.
And Cordelia is liking these cards.
Cool. Oh, you know what, Debbie? Since I have two, I'll be able to send 2 cards out.
Absolutely. You guys like that idea, don't you?
All right. Okay, so that's the end of my layering. I'm going to move on to my paper dolls.
Okay.
So, does anybody have any questions about what we did? We put lots of layers. And that's essentially, Debbie, that's what mixed media is. It's just mixing all your medias.
And being willing to keep going.
And knowing
I mean, I have to admit, there have been a couple of cards that I've done this year. Like one that was really, really good was, it was basically just a stencil. But I started off, I think I wound up doing 3 layers of like a sun ray stencil. And the last one was the Nouveau glimmer paste over the top of everything after having done like 1 layer just regular stenciling and then another layer I put on to kind of fill in the white space a little bit and add a little bit more texture, and then that, and it just, that last layer is what did it. And I thought I was done before I did that one. That's kind of like with this, glitter that I put on here with that basket weave. That is just kind of what makes it.
And it's just fun, you know. It's, who doesn't like to get inky, you know? Well, some people don't, I guess, but it's just fun, you know.
And Daisy is saying that Biddy Penny is my mixed paper layering queen. And she does that. She does a lot of the paper layering. And I mean, I've watched her and it's like, I couldn't do that. I mean, she is just so creative with it. It's like, I have no idea where she decides, how she decides to put what where. It just looks incredible.
All right. It's going to be dry enough. I know that's annoying. Okay. A lot of times when I'm making backgrounds, Debbie, I'll make several and I'll just let them sit overnight, but we don't have the luxury of that.
Nope.
All right. So I'm going to trim down my cardstock because I lied. I'm going to do one more thing.
One more thing.
Yes. Okay. So, but this is a fun thing. So my cards are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I like to have a border. So that's 4. Let me think here. So, and then I like to have white. All right. So.
And since I started trimming out another one of the paper dolls, I figured I should finish her up. Because I'm going to have to trim this one down too. Because I always do A2 size, and I always like to have that little bit of a white border around the edge.
Yeah, me too.
Or some foil or something like that. But even that winds up with that little white border.
Yeah, I love the pop of a black background. I just love the way that it looks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, when we started, I had my distressing tool. This thing right here. My fingers are a mess.
That I
So-
lost mine somewhere on my desk. It's around
This
here
is what I
somewhere, but
mean.
I haven't been able to find it for 6 months.
6 months.
Yep.
It's time to either clean your desk or invest in another one.
Well, I've cleaned. It's probably in my drawers, one of my drawers somewhere, but I don't know. There's a stamp that I lost that I can't find too. That I literally lost it while I was using it. I mean, I started to put stuff away and it disappeared.
Check
I
on the
keep
back of
blaming
your stamping
Elizabeth. It's like
platform.
either it's Elizabeth that has used it and took it from me, although she lives in Ohio and I live in Florida, or one of my cats ate it.
Check on the
I
back
don't-
of your stamp platform. That's where I find some of my stamps.
I have, but it's
Ah.
been so long. Yeah, I found other stuff there since then.
All right, so I'm bringing out my crayons.
We got
I told you
another
guys-
layer.
Oh, this is for the border. This is for the border.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
So what I
ordinarily,
can use instead of that distressing is I've got one of these old Fiskars scissors with a deckled kind of edge that I can cut it, but then it's not going to be straight. So I got to cut it and then I got to cut it.
you do whatever.
Oh,
makes
you're
you
talking
happy.
like Tim. Tim says you do you.
Yeah, I almost said that, but I didn't want to take his line. You do whatever makes you happy.
I catch people using my line, so it's okay.
Yeah. All right. So this is the dilemma. So, my head is telling me I should use this because it matches, but my heart is saying go for the forest moss.
Yeah, probably because that has the contrast. I don't want to cut the tree. It's like I've got this tree that I like over here, and then I've got the glitter on the other side, and in order to cut my cardstock down enough, I need to cut through one of them. It's like I don't want to do that.
Dilemmas we have.
I
Just the
know.
dilemmas we have.
Okay, I've cut a little bit of the tree and a little bit more of the glitter. So this should be 4 by 5.5 if I did it right. No, it's 4 by 5. I mean, I need to cut it down even more. Darn it.
Yep. If you want the black background.
Okay, 1/8 of an inch off of both sides. Yeah, if I want my mat to match, to be the right size. Okay. And then I've got some strips that I can use on the inside or something. And then I got to trim. Except now these things are locked. I told you these are old. Somebody gave me these scissors.
Gifts are good.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. Who are we going to play with here? I got Santa. Ooh, that little angel would be perfect, I think.
I was thinking the
snow
angel partially because of the glitter on here.
That snow girl is really cute too.
Yep.
So we could do a little boy and girl if we wanted to. Let's see.
And this
All right.
is
Okay.
not
So
wanting to cut.
somebody's getting this card. So give me some suggestions here. Do we want the snow angel? Do we want the little boy and the girl? Or do we want Santa? So you guys are getting these cards. So tell me what you guys think while I get up and get my black cardstock.
So how are you guys liking all of this? Other than the fact that, as usual, I'm not prepared and I keep walking away. I did see something about Gloria. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on, so I'm going to have to scroll back up. So what is going on with Gloria? I feel like I'm shredding the paper on the edges, but I think that's what it's supposed to do, meaning these scissors are not really any good. But that's okay. And since she used some of her crayons, and I've got some, especially since I got new ones with the Christmas release, I need to grab my crayons.
Okay, so I've got somebody saying, Cordelia is saying she likes the boy and the girl, and Elizabeth is saying she likes the Santa. So I'll do this one with the boy and the girl, and then I'll do the green one with the Santa.
I did not hear what you said, Miss Monica.
I said blah 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 blah.
Oh, okay. I had misread Crystal's message about Gloria. It wasn't Gloria, it's her son. I knew that she was having issues there. So I've got a bunch of crayons too, but I'm not sure what to do either. So I've got the new ones. This one is the frosted juniper and the tree lot and the peppermint. And then I got all of these that I never use.
Oh, Debbie,
including the do what?
Look what I just found.
Oh, I love that one. I put stickles all over his beard and stuff last year. Was it last year or year? I think that was the year before.
It might have been the year before because that's an old
I think
one,
that was one of the first cards that I did for you.
I'm digging through my ephemera and I just saw that one.
Oh, yeah, he's adorable. Okay.
I digress.
And I have antique bronze. What do you guys think? I'm going to be going around, like she did, I'm going to be going around the edges and over the part that I kind of cut. But I don't know what color to go with. I mean, the green would go well. Any other golds or bronze would go well. And there's a little bit of red in here too. So red would go and blue would go. And I'm sure I've got more crayons than this, but I'm not going to get the rest of them out. If they're not here, they're not here.
The dilemmas we faced.
Yes. So when you were adding your crayon, you just colored on it, or did you just use your fingers, or how did you do that?
I just colored, and then I got my finger and ran it. That's why my fingers are all dirty. Santa looks perfect on the green. Cool. That's what we're doing. All right. So I don't want to just put them on the background. I gotta find the perfect piece of ephemera. And that can take a while.
I thought you said no perfection. We're not doing perfection, right?
I did say that, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so I've got some of the green down, but I really want some of the gold. So there's tarnished brass, and then there's antique bronze. I think I'll go with I'm debating, because neither one of them are quite the gold from the lunar paste, but they're close. Just thinking bringing some of that color in. Actually, I like this better with it not being blended. And you're using a black card base, right? Or were you using a black panel with a white card base, or it's just going straight onto the card base?
A black panel, and it'll go on a white card base.
Okay,
so I'll have this go on the card. Yeah.
And I think I have one around here somewhere. This is because I was cleaning up my desk like yesterday, I think. Also kind of thinking, nah. I was thinking maybe brown, and I don't like the craft. Just doesn't pop enough. So what did I do with my black? There we go.
How long were we supposed to be on? It's almost 5 o'clock. or almost 5 o'clock
Hey,
here.
well, I always tell them it's going to be an hour or more. So we've been
Yeah.
on an hour and a half so far, and we have done them 2 hours, and we have done longer. So Elizabeth, what time does Simon start? I think you said that Simon has one tonight too. Okay, so I can put that on there. And you're just adhering with regular glue, right? You're not
I
popping
am.
anything.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop my dolls, but for my background, I'm just adding some ephemera. I'm thinking I'll just put the picture, the present in the background.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm going to add that to my black card panel, and then I'll trim the card panel down. And of course, I'm getting crayons all over everything, but that's okay too. That just adds a little extra texture to the matting layer.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh, look what I just found.
Okay, I think we understand Monica's her method of crafting now. She continually says, "Ooh, look what I found."
That pretty much sums it up, Debbie. I don't have any path. I just keep walking until I like it. All right.
So I know I had card base over here somewhere. It's kind of where I was cleaning everything up and putting everything together where it belonged, and now I can. Here we go. Now, heavyweight cardstock card base. Okay. See, I have a little bit of a method to my madness. Just a little.
We'll get there.
Yep. Oh, this is one of my card bases for mini slimline. That's not it. So can anybody guess why I have extra card bases for a mini slimline? Elizabeth? Okay, don't tell me I didn't have one. I thought I did. Not one in here. I just have cardstock, regular cardstock panels, not my heavyweight. Okay, not a problem. I will just cut another one.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? You made it.
I don't want my dolls to be floating in air, so I gotta find something.
Oh, you have to find a way to ground them.
You know what I might just do? I just might make my own ground.
Yep. Okay, so cutting down. So now I have 2 card bases, which is good because I will be using several tomorrow. Yeah, because these guys know that beginning of the month means spellbinders. And I haven't gotten any of my spellbinders projects done yet. Okay, I need to clean my fingers because I'm getting I'm getting crayon on my card base, on my pretty white card base. I think I got on both sides though.
Yeah, you know what I typically do is I won't put them on my card base till after the fact.
So okay, that makes sense. That gives the color on your hands time to dry and or be cleaned off.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I'll clean up everything, wash my hands, and then I'll put them on my card base. That's the last thing that I do.
Okay, so trees right side up.
That probably would have been helpful to tell you that. Sorry.
What do you guys think? I think that that's done. Except I don't have a sentiment, but still, I think he's basically done.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay, now I gotta get my dental pick out here.
I'm mean, and to begin with, I was thinking My Little Angel, although that would look good too, but I think Santa just looks better. Probably because of the tree.
Yeah. I think those little dolls could work with most every background. It really is a cute set. It's got the I don't even remember what it has. It has the tags that I made. It has, what else did it have, Debbie? I can't remember.
Pulling it up. Actually, I'm thinking that the tags weren't in the one I downloaded, but I am looking at. Oh, actually, it came out. It came with the ATCs.
Oh, that's right.
But the tags weren't in there.
Oh, you're.
But that doesn't mean you can't make tags with it.
Your crackling is getting worse.
Yeah. I think Crystal's probably right where it is the different places that are going through the servers in.
Look what I just found.
I do have, well, I've never used this stuff before. I've never used gilding flakes, but I bought some rose gold Heidi swap on clearance that has not been opened yet. But I don't really think I don't know that I'd want to add it to this. I don't think the gold would go well with rose gold. I don't really have enough pink in this.
Yeah. Am I crackling when I talk, or is it just you?
It's on you too. And we're getting crackling even when we're not talking. Okay, so Maureen sends, this is from Elizabeth. She says, Maureen Maureen sending hugs for you too. Hugs all around everyone. Yeah, I've noticed more and more that a lot of crafters, one of the reasons that we do what we do is because something else is going on in our life. A lot of folks have got some kind of an illness, and crafting makes them happy when they can't really function to do a lot of other things. I mean, it makes me sad that so many folks are having issues, but I'm very happy that they're able to find some relief in card making. Okay, I need to find a sentiment or something to use with this little guy. He's adorable, though.
Yeah, the feedback is so bad.
Yeah, I was hearing it like it almost. You remember the old phones where party line? It almost sounds like somebody's on the party line.
Yeah.
So that is really, really, really weird. Okay, I don't think I have any with this. I'm looking to see if I have any already cut out Christmas sentiments. I don't know if it would match, but I could always add one of your sales tickets. That's too big. Got the Merry Christmas from another one of your packs.
Debbie, do you want to?
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm hearing somebody else. That is just too weird. Okay, I'm going to see if it has anything to do with my phone, because it shouldn't.
Elizabeth, you're asking if I'm frozen. I'm just putting my phone tape on. I could be frozen. I don't know if that was off camera.
All right. Okay, are we able to hear everything still? Yeah, Monica, your phone is your camera is stuck.
Oh yeah, I am frozen. I see.
So I don't want to take a bunch of time from these guys looking for and stamping out and doing a whole sentiment for that, but I am going to add a sentiment on there, I think. But this looks really cute. Probably something like Merry Christmas. These guys are just too big. I need a smaller one. So I'm going to clean up and then put that on a card base. While I'm doing that, though, I can go ahead and pull up. Okay, it looks like we lost Monica, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up the. Yeah, all of the sound sounds like it's back to normal now. It looks like it was probably her phone. Anywho, I'm going to pull up the if I can remember what my words are, right? I'm going to pull up the winner thing. Let's see if I can remember what the words are, right? Here we go. Actually, this is what came in the kit, so I'm looking at the wrong screen, but that's okay. I can fix that too. And that's probably because I have that up. Here we go. So now we've got the giveaway tool. So is everybody ready? It's StreamYard, but I think it was her phone because I'm housing StreamYard and I'm going through OBS. I've got all the things running. Everything seems to be working okay. But hello, Miss Janine. Hello, Miss Maureen. So I'm going to, if you guys are ready, I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner. If anybody is in the chat or in the video and has not actually commented yet, if you add a comment into the chat, then we will be giving away those 2 cards. Actually, Monica said she would be giving away 2 since she was making 2. And in the time it took for me to make 1, she was able to create 2 of them. I hope you guys like this. I think it turned out pretty cute. Let me see if I can show you this one again real quick. So that's what it looks so far. I'm going to be putting that on a card base and most likely adding, yes, I will add a sentiment to it, but yeah, I'll be sending that out to you guys. And I don't know that usually on something like this, I would be adding some stickles to the beard and the white parts of the fur, but I don't really know that this actually needs it. I think that it has so much shimmer and shine to it since that's basically all I used on it. It looks kind of cool. So you guys can just tell me what you think. And I'm going to go back to that one. Oh, yeah, I need to go back to that screen and then put that one up. That's right. See, I made some overlays, assuming that there were 2 people in the stream. When there's only 1, my overlays don't necessarily work. But anywho, and I discovered a couple of things I want to add to it. So hopefully next week it'll be a little bit better too. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that we're doing this broadcast. And assuming nobody else is going to comment in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and start collecting comments. We've got 12 different people doing a lot of talking out there. And going ahead and drawing. Thank you, Miss Daisy. Super duper adorable cards. So the winner of one of Monica's cards is going to be, well, let me bring her back in. One of the winners for one of Monica's cards is going to be Biddy Penny. So congratulations. Go ahead, Monica.
My phone died.
And after it died, the crackling stopped.
Oh.
So well, that was a surprise.
Well, that was me then.
So we've got 1 winner so far, and that is going to be Miss Biddy Penny. And I'm going to go ahead and draw for the next person. And this one's going to be, were you still doing 2 cards or just the 1, Miss Monica? I don't know if you finished the other.
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay, so the winner of the other card for Miss Monica is going to be Miss Daisy. Awesome. And you guys know, go ahead and email me your address and a note saying that you won, and email that to Debbie J at Debbie J's Crafting Corner. That way I can get your information over to Miss Monica and I don't forget that you were the winner. I have done that before. I was like, who was it that won? I need to go back in and rewatch the video all the way through again to see what was going on.
So Debbie,
yes, ma'am.
Once I get my new setup, I'll have 2 cameras and I won't have to work off of my phone. So hopefully that'll be better.
Absolutely.
Sorry everybody.
Tech is tech, and they're used to me having to fight everything. So this is probably one of the smoothest lives we've done so far. Okay, so final winner, the one that's going to be winning my card is going to be Miss Janine, awesome. So I will be mailing that out to you, honey. Again, go ahead and send me that email, which is mostly to remind me who won what, so we can get that taken care of, right? And I'm going to go ahead and bring Miss Monica back on, and then we can take a look at all what. I cannot speak. I literally cannot speak. I'm going to go ahead and bring Monica back on, guys. So let's take another quick look at your card, Miss Monica.
Okay, sounds good. I'm holding my phone because I have to plug it into my outlet. So, so
It is what it is.
all right. So here's the card that's almost finished. So that's the first one, and then the second one will have the Santa.
That is just lovely. Loving it. And then
De-
go
Debbie,
ahead.
let me see your card.
That was what I was about to about to do. So this is what mine looks like. I'm putting it onto my white card base. And the color is a little bit washed out. It looks like it's not as vibrant as it actually is. The red is actually red.
Oh,
So
that
I
looks
think that
great.
turned out pretty good. And I'm
Yeah.
planning on adding a little sentiment up here.
Sure.
Probably white embossing on black or red embossing on black. I haven't decided for sure, but I'm thinking a black sentiment. I mean, a sentiment that's on black cardstock
Yeah.
would probably look pretty good there to bring out the black background a little more too.
Yeah, that looks great. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again, Miss Monica, for joining us here tonight and sharing all of your crafty goodness.
Oh, you are welcome. I had fun. I'm sorry
Awesome.
about my tech issues.
Hey, it happens. We all have that, and these guys know that that would happen. So you have a wonderful night, hon. I'm going to say goodbye to all of these lovely folks, and
All
I
right.
will see you later.
Okay. See you later.
Okay, bye bye. So we are all done. Sorry about the sound issues, guys, but you know it is the world of live streaming, right? Something always goes wrong, but at least we work our way through it. And I hope. Let's see if this shows up a little bit. Now you can see the red a little bit better. I really love how this guy turned out. And I'm going to have to start mixing some of my different types of things. I think this is probably one of the first cards that I can't speak, but one of the first cards that I made using some of those crayons. I mean, you guys saw it. I've got a bunch. I don't actually usually use washi tape on my cards. I've got a ton. I seem to recall I think it was Debbie Smith saying, look at all that washi tape. Yeah, I got a ton of it. And it basically sits in the back of one of my shelves because I don't use it, but I want it out here near me so I can try to remember to use it. You know how that one goes. Anywho, I believe we've got some more lives coming up. I'm looking at the chat. If Elizabeth, if you could give us a rundown again of who's doing what next, I would love to see that because I don't remember. I think you said Simon was one. And I know you have another live tonight, and I don't remember if Pam does, though, and I don't remember the times. So, yeah, I'm kind of lost here. And while I'm waiting for that, I am going to go ahead and share with you guys what's coming up next on my channel. So next week, we have Crystal Wyckoff, and I believe we are going to be doing some kind of a fun fold card, if I'm not mistaken. She's going to get with me a little bit later so we can get kind of narrow down the final details. So that's going to be next week on the 14th. The following week, we have a special treat. Let me turn that up. Okay, here we go. We have a special treat. Cordelia is going to be coming on with me. I am so excited. She just got, oh my goodness, I think it was a scan and cut. Cordelia, tell me what your new toy was. I'm pretty sure you said it was a scan and cut and your husband won't let you open it until Christmas. So we're going to be opening it live. We're going to do an unboxing and initial walkthrough of her new toy. And then the next thing I've got going on is I also have got a class coming up. We just did my first card making workshop class, whatever. We just had that last weekend. I think the ladies had a blast with that, so I am so excited with that. I am going to be putting the pictures that they are sharing of all their wonderful cards. I'm going to be putting that up on my blog with more information and stuff. Anyway, that is coming. As part of what they get, they also get the replay of the workshop so that they can reference it at any time because they actually purchased the course. So looking to see The light from that flashlight is messing up my eyes. So I do see what Bitty Penny says, what? Whoop, whoop, Cordelia. Yes, she got a new toy, so I am so excited for her. And okay, Elizabeth says we've got Simon at 8 o'clock, which is in about an hour. And then Elizabeth's going to be back on at 9:15, give or take, depending on what time his live finishes up. And then Not Afraid of Color is on right now. So once we get done here, you guys can head on over to her to see what all crafty goodness is going over there. One more thing about the virtual card making class, I'm right now trying to set it up first or second week of the month. I'm going to try to carry that forward into next year. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the 8th. That's a Saturday. And if you sign up today or tomorrow, I'm leaving it open until tomorrow, you'll get $5 off of your registration. So go ahead and sign that up. It'll be a little bit more later on, and I know you guys are thinking more Christmas, but you can always give them to each other for Christmas presents, right? I think that would be fun. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You are totally awesome. I love hanging out with you, and thank you so much for dropping in and hanging out with me. You guys have a wonderful night, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. I'll see you later, guys.